Today, we're diving into a really fundamental question. What does it actually mean to be a Muslim? We're going to try and get past the labels and the cultural ideas and get right to the heart of what the Quran says it means to submit.
So a question you hear a lot is, how do you become a Muslim? Is there some special ceremony? Is it just a list of beliefs you have to check off? Well, the answer might not be what you think. You see, the Quran kind of flips this on its head. It frames the whole thing less about a list of things you do and more about who you fundamentally are. It's about your inner posture, your core state of being.
To really get this, we've got to go back to basics. Back to the word itself. The definition is right there in the term, and it's basically the key that unlocks this entire concept.
That's pretty much it. In Arabic, a Muslim is simply one who submits. It's an active thing, a conscious choice to be in a state of submission. But, okay, submit to what? And what does that even look like in real life?
And this is where a really common misconception comes in. So many of us, Muslims included, kind of get stuck on this idea that to be a Muslim is to be flawless, perfect. But the Quranic idea, it's completely different. It's not about being perfect, it's about an orientation of yielding authority to God.
So this brings us to the first of three, let's call them tests or dimensions of this internal state. And it all kicks off with this fundamental question of authority. Who's really in charge here?
Just think about that for a second. That is such a huge and honestly countercultural idea today. To be a Muslim means you recognize that your own ego, your personal wants, your opinions, they aren't the final word. There's a higher authority.
So what does it mean to live this out? It means accepting, deep down, that God has the right to guide you. It's admitting that your own perspective isn't the be-all and end-all, and that, at the end of the day, you're accountable to Him.
Okay, now let's build on that. The second test is all about your relationship with divine truth. And this is especially important when that truth is hard to swallow or when it challenges you personally.
This quote just perfectly captures the shift in thinking, right? The default is often to stand over revelation and pick and choose the parts we like. But the posture of submission, that's about letting the revelation stand over you, allowing it to measure and correct you.
It's really about having the humility to say, okay, maybe I'm the one who needs to change, not the scripture. It's that moment when your ego is screaming, no way, but your heart still has to admit what's true. That internal tug-of-war and the choice to yield, that's Islam.
And this points to something really important. For a lot of people, the barrier isn't some big intellectual problem with belief. It's a problem of the will. It's not about being unable to believe. It's about being unwilling to submit, to just let go of that personal authority.
Okay, on to our third and final piece of the puzzle. This one shifts the focus from a single action or belief to the overall trajectory of your life.
Because, let's be real, anyone can claim to be something. That's just a snapshot in time, a single statement.
But what matters so much more is the overall direction your life is facing, the qibla of your heart. If you were to draw an arrow showing where all your priorities and decisions are pointing, where would it lead?
And you can kind of check this for yourself. When you're confused and lost, where do you turn? Are you more worried about what He thinks of you or what other people think? And how do you even define success? Is it tied to your standing with Him? And honestly, this might be the most freeing idea we talk about today. It's not about a perfect track record. It's about being pointed in the right direction. And even when you trip and fall, you get back up and face that same direction again.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. Let's distill it all down to one clear, powerful takeaway. Based on this whole framework, what's the essence of being a Muslim?
It really boils down to these three things. They're simple, but they're incredibly deep. It's all about authority, truth, and direction. And notice, not a single one of them says, if you are perfect, or if you never ever mess up.
I love this quote because it just nails the whole idea. Being a Muslim isn't some trophy you win at the end of a long race. It's not a finish line you cross. It's a stance you take, a position you choose to stand in day after day in relation to God.
And when you look at it this way, you can finally let go of that constant anxiety of, am I good enough? Am I measuring up? Because that's just a wrong question.
The real question, the one that gets to the heart of it all, is this. In this very moment, in your life right now, what is your orientation? Are you in a state of yielding, of submission, or are you in a state of pushing back, of resisting? That choice, right there, is the heart of Islam.